I want to tell you something that is difficult to hear in a world that moves very fast. Good things take time, not a little time, not 1 week or 2 weeks, real time, months, sometimes years. This is not a popular idea. We live in a world that wants everything quickly, fast results, fast progress, fast success. We watch someone on social media and they look successful and happy and confident, and it looks like it happened easily, like it happened fast, but it did not happen fast. Behind every confident English speaker, there are hundreds of hours of quiet, unimpressive practice. Behind every person with a good career, there are months or years of slow, invisible progress that nobody saw. We only see the result. We do not see the waiting. And because we do not see the waiting, we think we are doing something wrong when our own progress feels slow. We think, why is it taking so long? Other people seem to improve faster. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this is not working. And we stop right before the progress arrives. This is one of the saddest things I know. People stopping right before the breakthrough because they could not see it coming. Today, I want to talk about patience, real patience, not passive waiting, not sitting and doing nothing and hoping something changes. Active patience, showing up every day, doing the work, trusting the process, even when you cannot see the results yet. Today's story is about a young man named Faris. Faris was not a patient person. He wanted results fast. When results did not come fast, he stopped until one season changed him. This is his story. Meet Faris. Faris was 22 years old. He lived with his family. He had just finished school and was studying at a local college, part-time in the evenings. In the mornings, he helped at his father's small hardware shop. He was a smart young man. He learned new things quickly. When something interested him, he could focus completely. But he had one big problem. He had no patience. When he started something and it did not produce results quickly, he stopped. He moved on. He tried something else. He had started learning English 4 times in the past 2 years. 4 times. The first time, he used an app on his phone. He did it every day for 3 weeks. Then he missed one day, then 2 days. Then he deleted the app. The second time, he joined a free online course. He completed 6 lessons. The progress felt slow. He stopped. The third time, he bought a small English book. He read 20 pages. He put it on the shelf. The fourth time, he decided to watch English movies without subtitles. After 2 movies, he understood very little. He went back to subtitles. Every time, the same pattern. Start with energy. Feel slow progress. Stop. He told his friend once, "I think my English just does not improve. I study and nothing changes." His friend looked at him. "How long do you study before you stop?" the friend asked. Ferris thought about it. 2 or 3 weeks, he said. His friend was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Ferris, a plant does not grow in 2 weeks." The garden Ferris's grandfather had a small garden behind his house. It was not a large garden, just a modest piece of land where his grandfather grew vegetables. Tomatoes, cucumbers, mint, a small fig tree in the corner. Ferris had visited the garden many times as a child. He had always liked it. The smell of the earth, the quiet, the way his grandfather moved slowly and carefully among the plants. One Friday afternoon, Ferris visited his grandfather. He found him in the garden, as usual, kneeling beside a row of young tomato plants, checking the soil, adding a little water. Ferris sat on a small wooden bench nearby and watched. After a while, he said, "Grandfather, how long before the tomatoes are ready?" His grandfather looked up. "These ones, another 6 weeks, maybe 7." "That is a long time," said Ferris. His grandfather smiled. "Is it?" He stood up slowly and came to sit beside Ferris on the bench. "Tell me something," he said. "When you planted the seed, did you dig it up after 1 week to check if it was growing?" Ferris smiled. "No." "Why not?" "Because that would kill it," said Ferris. His grandfather nodded. "You trusted the process," he said. "You put the seed in the ground. You watered it. You gave it sunlight, and you waited. You did not dig it up every week to check. You trusted that the growth was happening even when you could not see it." He looked at Ferris calmly. "Everything real grows the same way," he said. Ferris looked at the small tomato plants. He thought about his 4 attempts at English. how he had started and waited 2 weeks and seen nothing visible and stopped. He had been digging up the seeds. Lesson 1: growth happens before you can see it. That evening, Ferris sat in his room and thought about his grandfather's words. Everything real grows the same way. He thought about learning English, about the 4 times he had started and stopped. Each time he had stopped, why? Not because he was making no progress. Looking back, honestly, he had made some progress every time. New words, better recognition of sounds, small improvements in reading. He had stopped because the progress was invisible. He could not see it. He could not measure it. He could not feel it clearly enough to know it was real. And so he had assumed, if I cannot see it, it is not happening. But that was wrong. Growth happens before you can see it. The seed is growing underground for weeks before any green appears above the soil. The roots go down before anything comes up. The invisible work happens first. The visible result comes later. English was the same. The words were going into his brain. The patterns were forming. The connections were being made, slowly, invisibly, in the quiet space between lessons. He just could not see it yet. But that did not mean nothing was happening. He opened his notebook. He wrote, "The growth is happening, even when I cannot see it. I trust the process." Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. Growth happens before I can see it. I trust the process even when results are not yet visible. The seed grows underground before anything appears above. Invisible progress is still real progress. I do not stop just because I cannot see results yet. I keep going. The results are coming. Patience is trusting what I cannot yet see. Lesson 2: One season. The next morning, Faris made a decision. He was going to study English for 1 season, not forever. Just 1 season, 3 months, 90 days, every day 20 minutes of English, simple lessons, common vocabulary, listening practice, a little speaking out loud in his room. But for 90 days, no stopping, no matter how slow the progress felt, no matter how invisible the results were, no matter how many times the old impatient feeling arrived and told him, this is not working. He would treat it like his grandfather's garden, plant the seed, water it, give it light, and wait, not passively, actively. Show up every day, do the work, but not dig up the seeds to check. He started on a Monday. The first week felt familiar. The lessons were okay, some new words, some improvement in listening. The second week, the impatient feeling arrived, as expected, right on schedule. He recognized it this time. He said to himself, "This is the feeling that made me stop before. I know you. You are not telling me the truth. You are just uncomfortable with slowness." He kept going. Week 3, week 4, the impatient feeling came and went. He kept going. At the end of the first month, he counted 30 days, every single one. He wrote in his notebook, 30 days. The garden is growing. I cannot see it yet, but I trust it. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. I commit to 1 season, 90 days, without stopping. I recognize the impatient feeling and I keep going anyway. This is the feeling that made me stop before, not this time. 30 days done. 60 more to go. I treat my English like a garden. I water it every day. I write my progress even when it feels invisible. 1 season of patience builds what years of stopping never could. Lesson 3. The day he noticed. 60 days into his 90-day commitment, something happened. Faris was at the hardware shop helping a customer find a specific type of screw. The customer mentioned something about a foreign brand, a name Faris had seen written in English many times. Without thinking, Faris read the name out loud, naturally, with the correct pronunciation. The customer looked at him. "Your English is good," he said. Faris blinked. "Thank you," he said. The customer left. Faris stood at the counter, a small moment, completely ordinary. A customer, a screw, a name read out loud. But something about it landed differently. He had not tried to read the name correctly. He had not thought about the pronunciation. It had just come out, naturally, easily, without effort. Because 60 days of listening and repeating had put the sounds into his head so deeply that they came out on their own. That evening he told his grandfather. His grandfather listened. Then he smiled. "You saw the first green above the soil," he said. Faris understood. The growth had been happening the whole time, underground, invisible, patient. 60 days of invisible work. And now, just barely, something was appearing above the surface. He still had 30 days left of his 90-day commitment. He could not wait to see what they would bring. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. After 60 days of practice, something appears naturally. I do not try. It just comes out. That is real learning. The growth was happening the whole time. I could not see it. Patience brings results that impatience never finds. I see the first green above the soil and I feel grateful. 30 more days. I keep going with even more trust now. Real learning goes deep before it becomes visible. Lesson 4, 90 days. The 90th day arrived on a Sunday. Faris sat at his small desk. He opened his English lesson the same way he had opened it 89 times before. He studied for 20 minutes. Then he closed his phone and sat quietly. He thought about the 90 days. He thought about the first time he had studied English, 3 weeks, and then stopped, and the second time, and the third, and the fourth. He thought about the impatient feeling that had arrived in week 2, right on schedule, and how he had recognized it this time, named it, kept going. He thought about the customer at the hardware shop, the name read out loud without thinking. Then he took out his notebook and turned to a clean page. He wrote 90 days, every single one. He looked at those 5 words for a long time. 90 days, every single one. Not perfect days. Some had been boring. Some had been hard. Some mornings he had not wanted to open the lesson. Some lessons had felt slow and uninteresting. But 90 days, every single one. And his English, he could feel it now clearly without needing anyone to tell him, was genuinely, noticeably, really better. Not fluent, not finished. Still much to learn, but real progress, visible now, growing above the surface. He went to his grandfather's garden that afternoon. He stood beside the tomato plants, taller now, the fruit beginning to show. He thought, I planted my own seeds 90 days ago, and they are growing. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. 90 days. Every single one. I am proud. Not perfect days, but real days. That is enough. My English is genuinely better. I can feel it now. Patience brought me something impatience never could. I am not finished, but I am growing. That is everything. I planted seeds and I did not dig them up. 90 days is just the beginning. I keep going. Final words. The power of patience. Ferris's story is simple. He was not special. He was not unusually hardworking or unusually talented. He was just a young man who had spent 2 years starting and stopping until one Friday afternoon in his grandfather's garden, something clicked. The growth is happening even when you cannot see it. That was the lesson. That was everything. He stopped digging up his seeds. He started trusting the soil. He gave his English the one thing he had always taken away too soon: time. Maybe you are listening now and you recognize yourself in Faris. Maybe you have started learning English several times and stopped. Maybe you feel like the progress is too slow. Maybe you look at other people and they seem to improve faster and you wonder, why not me? I want to say this to you simply. The progress is happening right now, in this lesson, in every lesson you complete, in every word that enters your mind and settles quietly into memory, in the slow, invisible, patient work of learning something real. You cannot see it yet. That is normal. That is how growth works. But it is happening. Give it time. Give it 90 days. Show up every day, not perfectly, just consistently. 20 minutes, one lesson, one small step, and trust the soil, because good things take time and you are already growing. See you in the next one. Stay calm, stay patient, and trust the power of patience.